morning, everyone. Welcome to Goat Marine Reserve. I really don't know why it's called the Goat Marine Reserve. I think maybe I'll find out today because I'm about to do a 45-minute glass bottom boat tour. So yes, you heard me right. The bottom of the boat, there is a partition of glass so you can supposedly see down into the ocean below. Sometimes it's mixed reviews, you know, that maybe it's murky water that day, a little bit too much kick up from the ocean floor. You can't see much, but sometimes you can see fish swim right beneath the boat. So I'm hoping for that today. Maybe some marine life, but definitely just to learn a little bit more about this area. And I love being on the water, so of course I'm happy no matter what. So it's just a short boat ride though. It's not a full day excursion. I'm only here for a little bit, probably going to enjoy the beach after the boat and just relax. I definitely am enjoying the area over here. Beautiful beaches. You are spoilt for choice. I was at the national park with the beach yesterday. I quickly drove to Omaha Beach and saw that, another beautiful beach, and now I'm going to another beach. So this area is just spoilt for choice. If you love beaches, you will love this area, and it's only an hour's drive away from Auckland, so it's ideally situated for people coming for the day, just to hang out and get away from the city life and really experience the beautiful coastal towns and beaches that New Zealand has to offer for sure. So let's head down there, check in for the boat ride, and then we'll see what else I get up to, but I'm sure that it's going to be another relaxing day. I just learned it's called Goat Island because there's no fresh water on the island. It's not suitable for any livestock except for goats, because apparently goats don't need fresh water that often. I'm not sure. That was actually a really cool takeaway place because the vibe of it was renovated, new, almost like hipster-esque. So to have that in a small kind of bare bones town is actually a really big asset. So I really enjoyed my fresh snapper. Delicious, made to order, fresh. Because these small towns tend to be a little bit stuck in time, and similar to small towns in Canada, you're not going to get fancy places necessarily. If you're ever in Lee by chance, check out Lee Eats. They have cheaper food because here in New Zealand, I was just talking about this, it's pretty pricey to eat out, but you know, for my fish and one scoop of fries, it was $12, and the burgers there were about $8.50, which is unheard of. If you had the same meal in Auckland, you'd be looking at $20 to $25. So yeah, highly recommend Lee Eats. I'm at the Ponsonby Haka Lodge in Auckland, and I arrived yesterday. I got to hang out with my friend that I made the last time I stayed at this hostel, Melanie. I really enjoyed catching up with her last night. She's gotten a job here, and she has a flat now to live in Auckland, so I was just really happy for her because she's set herself up here in the country, and I think that's really great because we are both here on working holidays and we've just done completely different paths, which is perfectly okay. I was just doing a bit of research, planning, thinking about what I wanted to do the next couple weeks, just trying to set myself up with the next phase of my working holiday, and I found it. So I basically looked up Taupo hostels and I decided that's where I'm gonna go next. I called up Haka Lodge Taupo, where I've actually stayed before in 2018, and they had availability for me to volunteer to pay for my accommodations. I don't really want to keep spending on hostels, and I don't really want to keep living on the road and out of a suitcase. So this is gonna provide that semi-permanent option that I'm looking for, as well as I'm not spending any money on accommodations. So I called up one place, they said that they didn't accept anyone. I called up another, they didn't answer the phone. And I called up a third, and that one said yes. It is a bit of a drive down to Taupo from Auckland, about 3.5-hour drive on the road. So it's gonna be a big drive day coming up for me on Sunday, but for now, it's Friday. I'm free, I have a plan, I have no stress, no worries, and I'm good to go. Oh, and today, February 14th, is Valentine's Day, but it's also my 3-month anniversary of being away from home and living in New Zealand. I've actually been away from home longer than 3 months because I was in Hawaii for 2 weeks prior to moving to New Zealand, but living here in New Zealand, it is the 3-month mark. This is the longest I've been away from home, the longest that I've stayed in one country before besides Canada, so it's definitely a milestone for me. It went by really quick, and I cannot believe we're at month 3 already, and I just can't wait to see where else this year takes me, because if things keep working out like how this Taupo position lined up, it's amazing. I'm so happy. Hello from Hamilton. I hit the road this morning and left Auckland at around 9:30 because I'm making my way down to Taupo. I decided while I'm in Hamilton, I'm centrally located to access Waitomo glowworm caves. Now this is a spot where I have been trying to make it to. The first road trip I had to bypass it because I didn't have enough time. That was back in 2018. The second road trip this year with my coworker Leanne, we had to bypass it again because I had to move to the mount, and we went the other way instead of coming out west here to Waitomo. So now, while I am not in a rush to get to Taupo because I have all day to drive there, it's only 11 a.m., I decided to book myself a tour of the glowworm caves. So the big draw for tourists to Waitomo region is all the glowworm caves underground beneath all of these rolling hills. There lives this world of worms that thrive in the dark caves that are located there. I managed to score a coupon code and got a slightly discounted rate for the 45-minute boat ride tour. You can do some epic tours there, like rafting, canyoning, and just walking through all the underground rivers and circuits that are in these cave systems all throughout Waitomo. But because I'm on the road trip, I do have all my things with me, and I just want to make a shorter stop there. I decided to do the boat trip, and I love being on a boat, and we're going to be cruising through this underground river system, seeing all the worms. It's going to be awesome. I'm super stoked. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to make my way an hour west, kind of like southwest to Waitomo, do the glowworm cave tour for 1:30, and then make my way back down to Taupo for this evening. So that's the plan. I'm super excited to share with you guys a little side adventure to Waitomo. I'm going to try my best to capture some video, but honestly, it's going to be pitch black conditions. I'm probably not going to capture too much. So let's hit the road and head to Waitomo. So I did arrive at Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Unfortunately, I reread my ticket and it says photography, including video and non-flash pictures, are strictly forbidden. So this is an experience just for my eyes, and I will come on the vlog and describe it later and let you know how it went. While you are in the boat, you're able to see the stalactites and stalagmites all throughout the cave, a very beautiful ecosystem underground. I stopped at the Eyesight local tourist office before coming down to the caves, and I'm a total nerd and I bought this gold coin. It was $2 and it basically says Waitomo Caves, where two landscapes meet. New Zealand souvenir coin. Yeah, I know. I'm such a nerd. I love it. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness! that was such a brilliant tour. I am so happy that I decided to take the tour, take the detour, go to Waitomo, and it was actually a very beautiful tour. It is developed, but it is still family run. And of course I saw the glowworms, which were stunning. I know why they do not allow photography, because you have to pay attention to where you're stepping. It's really dark. There's a lot of other tours happening at the same time, but the best part of the tour is when you get to complete silence. You walk down these steps into the depth of the cave. The river system is still there from millions and millions of years ago. You have stalagmites and stalactites surrounding you, and you get into an aluminum boat and it takes you through the river, and up above in the caves are these thousands of glowworms shining bright. It was incredible. We saw so many glowworms, and you're just in pitch black conditions. It's super quiet because the worms are very sensitive to noise and light. Nobody has any phones out, no light is shining, nobody is talking. It was just a very pure and very surreal moment there in the caves. You could tell that it was their world that we were visiting. It was not ours, and I really loved that experience. And all along the way, our Maori guide provided insight and ancestral anecdotes to his connection personally to the cave and its roots and when it was first discovered. That cave system is millions and millions, approximately about 35 million years old. It used to be below the sea level before an earthquake and the lowering of the ocean burst it out from the seafloor, and now we are able to walk through the cave and see this incredible natural wonder. I should work for their tourism, because honestly I feel like I'm selling it so much right now, but I just had such a great time. There were moments where I was nervous because it was so dark and I was just unsure of what was going to come next, but I highly recommend it. I did the regular tour. There are other options that you could do. You could spend the whole day in Waitomo, but for a short detour stop on the road trip down to Topo, I'm so happy that I did it. And now I am just passing through some small towns on my way down to Topo. I've got about another 2-hour drive down till I get there. So actually I stopped and got myself some lunch. I have this beautiful kebab waiting for me. I haven't eaten since breakfast and it's now almost 3. So I'm gonna smash that kebab, hit the road, and we're gonna head on down to Topo.